From a rules crisis that could have broken his focus, but Dustin Johnson stayed calm and turned it into victory. To a deep tree hook at Augusta, where Bubba Watson bent the ball nearly 40 yards onto the green. These are the 5 moments when golfers didn't just play, they thought, planned, and used every single brain cell to make magic on the course. Pressure makes heroes, and Jordan Spieth proved it at the 2015 US Open. On the final day, Spieth was tied with some of the best players in the world. Every shot mattered, and every mistake could end his chance. He bogeyed the very first hole, but instead of panicking, he stayed calm. He made smart choices. 12 steady pars and 2 smart birdies kept him right in the fight. That was pure focus.
Good swing there. Hoping for a good kick now. Creeping up on the front of the green, needs to just settle right there.
Then came the 16th hole, the real test of brainpower. Spieth's partner, Brandon Grace, sent his tee shot far right and out of bounds. Spieth watched closely, learned from that mistake, and aimed carefully. He drained a huge 28-foot birdie putt, using his nerves and brain like steel. In that one moment, he turned a tie into a 3-shot lead.
Lead at the moment, but the door is open.
But golf is never over until the last putt drops. On the 17th, Spieth slipped with a double bogey, while Dustin Johnson birdied. Suddenly, it was all square again. Now, the last hole was a battle of the mind. Spieth stayed sharp, kept his cool, and sank his par putt. Johnson, under the same pressure, 3-putted. Spieth's smart thinking and calm under fire showed what using 100% of your brain in golf looks like. And just 1 year later, Dustin Johnson gave us a true masterclass in mental toughness with his calm and focused personality. Sometimes winning in golf is not about power, but about staying calm when everything around you is chaos. That was Dustin Johnson at the 2016 US Open.
4 back.
On the 5th green, his ball moved slightly as he stood over it. Johnson told the official right away that he hadn't touched it. The rules man agreed, and so did his playing partner, Lee Westwood. But later, on the 12th tee, another official told him the incident might still be reviewed after the round. Imagine trying to finish the hardest tournament in golf, not even knowing your real score. That takes a sharp mind.
That is not where you want to be.
Now Dustin Johnson from the front of the green.
He's got a very fast putt, going to come up going left, and then the last 10 feet just try to wiggle right. But one of the fastest putts here at Oakmont.
He'll have to work for his par.
Johnson could have lost focus. He could have let the confusion break his rhythm. But instead, he made the smartest choice: block it out and play his best golf. He trusted his swing, trusted his putting, and trusted his ability to handle the pressure. While others, like Shane Lowry, struggled when hearing the news, Johnson kept calm and steady.
What a gem, Dustin Johnson!
A birdie at 18.
Even with a penalty added later, he finished 3 strokes ahead. That victory showed how a golfer's brain can be just as strong as his swing. Johnson used his mind to stay cool, focused, and finally win his first major. But just 2 years later, Francesco Molinari would take a very different path to glory, crafting his no bogey, no heroics blueprint at the 2018 Open in Carnoustie. Francesco Molinari showed the world in 2018 at Carnoustie that the smartest golfer doesn't always need the flashiest shots.
50 on there. It was a bit of a blow to Hilton, wouldn't it?
While the crowd roared for Tiger Woods, and while 7 different players fought for the lead, Molinari stayed calm. He knew the course was tough and the wind was tricky, but instead of chasing risky birdies, he used his brain to stay steady. Over the last 37 holes, he did something incredible. He never made a single bogey. That takes focus, patience, and a sharp mind. 2 of his biggest brainy moves came on holes 12 and 13, when he saved par with tough 8-foot putts. Those could have been dropped shots, but Molinari read the greens perfectly and kept his score clean. On the 14th hole, he picked his moment to strike with a simple birdie, taking the lead for the first time. The smartest play came on the 18th. He aimed a bold drive near a bunker but trusted his plan. It stopped safe. He hit a perfect wedge to 5 feet and then rolled in the birdie to seal victory.
On you come. On you come.
Magnificent, under the most severe pressure.
One final birdie. And at last, Francesco Molinari.
Molinari didn't win with power or risk. He won with brain power, choose wisely, and make history for Italy. And just when you think steady golf is the only way to win, Phil Mickelson's fearless 2010 Masters approach shot showed the magic that happens when brains and bravery collide. Some shots look impossible until Phil Mickelson makes them possible.
Good crawl up the hill.
No way. They'd be down in the gully, but once again.
At the 2010 Masters, Phil's ball landed deep in the pine straw on the 13th hole. Most golfers would play it safe and just chip back to the fairway. But Phil saw something no one else did. With total focus, he aimed through a tiny gap between 2 trees, over water, and straight toward the green. It was a 6-iron shot from 206 yards away. One wrong move, and it was disaster.
That's a win for the family.
The crowd held its breath as Phil swung. The ball flew clean, skipped onto the green, and rolled just a few feet from the hole. The fans exploded in cheers. It was daring, fearless, and pure genius. Even though Phil missed the short putt after, that swing showed his brain and heart working together at full power. It was golf's version of a superhero move, and it helped him capture his 3rd green jacket. But if Phil's shot was fearless genius, Bubba Watson's hook at the 2012 Masters was something else entirely. An imagination so wild, it bent the ball like a painter's brushstroke. Some escapes feel like fairy tales, and Bubba Watson's 2012 Masters hook shot was one of them. In a sudden death playoff against Louis Oosthuizen, Bubba's drive flew deep into the trees on Augusta's 10th hole. To most people, it looked hopeless. But Bubba saw something no one else could, a tiny gap that pointed far left of the green. Instead of giving up, he trusted his imagination.
Slightly helping, 176 yards on the range, so with a bit of adrenaline, he might get 190.
Man, it's 155.
With a clean lie on the pine straw, Bubba pulled out his gap wedge and decided to bend the ball like magic. He closed his stance, hooded the club, and swung with all his power. The ball took off low, hooked nearly 40 yards, and curved perfectly onto the green, rising like it had wings. In golf history. And that's a wrap on the 5 moments when golfers used 100% of their brain. Which shot blew your mind the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing golf moments.